Welcome back for part 2 of my NFC East 2021 predictions. We'll probably do this series this week in June, and then we will eventually go through it again at the end of preseason just to see if anything changed with trades or anything big, and after having a little bit of a feel of watching a few preseason games. Anyways, appreciate you guys joining me. So last time we finished off with the Washington Redskins, who actually have a pretty hard schedule, and I see them finishing about 7-10, maybe 8-9, depending on what the Green Bay Packers look like next year. But today we're going to start off with the Giants. Why the Giants? The Giants have spent a lot of money in free agency and have big expectations. They're really going to take a close look at their quarterback this year. But does that mean the Giants are going to be a much improved team from last year just because they spent money in free agency? I don't know. It really, and I think even Giants fans will admit this, will come down to the quarterback, Daniel Jones. Can Daniel Jones take a step in his development, especially now that he has a lot of weapons around him? He has Saquon Barkley back, so we're going to see how this all plays out. Anyways, we're going to start off with the Denver Broncos Week 1. And for those of you who missed the first episode, in blue are the home games, in green are the away games. And that way, hopefully it's a little bit easier for you to follow. Okay, so we're going to start at Denver in New York. I don't really think Denver's a great team. I'm not a Lock fan. So I do think the Giants will start off the 2021 season with a win. Let's get that capital. All right. Now, the next week, they're going to go to Washington and have to play Washington. In the Washington prediction, we saw that Washington, I gave them that win at home, and so this is going to be an L for the New York Giants. All right, so we're going to week 3. They got to come back and they got to play Atlanta in New York. I like Giants to win this game. They're going to be at home. It's going to be tough. I do think Atlanta will be improved next year, so it won't be an easy game, but I'm going to say the Giants will win this game. Then the Giants got to go to New Orleans. I don't like Giants on the road here. I think the New Orleans is a hard place to play. I don't think they're going to come away with a win, so I'm going to give them a loss. Then they got to go to the Cowboys in Dallas. Big division game. I think they're going to lay a stinker, and I think Dallas will beat the Giants at home. Then we come back, and they got to play the Rams. The Rams, a much improved team from last year. They got a much better quarterback now. Goff is gone. They got Stafford. I don't see the Giants winning this game, even though it's in New York. I think the Rams are going to be one of the best teams in football next year. So no disrespect to the Giants. I just don't see them winning this game. I'm going to give them a loss. Tough start this season, 2-4. But hey, those are some tough games. Then they're going to come back and they're going to play Carolina at home. I do believe the Giants will rebound and get rolling a little bit. But unfortunately, that is not going to last long because you got to go to Kansas City and play Kansas City. I can't give them the win there. Kansas City's, top 3 team in the league. Patrick Mahomes, that's a big loss right there. Right? And then they'll come back. They will play Las Vegas at home. I don't think Las Vegas to me is an average team. I do think the Giants will take care of business at home and finish off 4-5 going into the bye week. Then they got to come back and they got to play at Tampa Bay right off the bye week. I really don't give them much of a chance in this game. Tampa Bay is a team that could go back and win the Super Bowl again. Tom Brady, they could forget about it. Loss. Then they got to go play the Eagles. at home. I know all the Giants fans are waiting for this game. They're excited. They want revenge because the Eagles let the Washington Redskins win last year. But I don't, until the Giants beat the Eagles consistently, I'm not giving them a win here. I'm sorry. That's a big, fat L. For whatever reason, Eagles own the Giants. I don't think that's going to change. Maybe if Daniel Jones develops and shows me something as a quarterback, okay, I'll give it to them at that point. But I got to see it to believe it. So at this point in June, I'm going the big L for the New York Giants. All right, so then they got to go right back and play Miami. That's a tough game. I will actually probably root for the Giants in this game at Miami. Why? Because we got Miami's first-round pick, and I would love to see Miami have a bad year. But they're actually a pretty good team. If this was at home, I would say Giants, but I'm going to give them another loss because I just don't think they're going to go to Miami and beat them. Then you got to go to Los Angeles Chargers. Los Angeles is pretty good. They got a really good young quarterback. Excuse me. And that's a tough game to go play. I give them another loss. 4 losses in a row. But hey, those are tough games. I mean, 3 of those games are on the road, and then 4, the home game is against Eagles, who Eagles seem to always have the Giants' number, at least the last couple of years. So until that changes, I'm not going to go away from that. So then they got to come back, and they're going to play Dallas at home. They're going to be desperate for a win. Season, everything's on the line. I'm going to give them the win against the Cowboys. And then they got to go back to Philadelphia and play in Philadelphia. I'm sorry, I don't see this as a win. I see this as a big loss again. I believe Eagles will be 2-0 against the Giants next year. Then they got to go to Chicago. At Chicago, this is a tough schedule. This is not an easy schedule. Chicago, by then, Justin Fields may be the starter, may be tearing it up. I mean, Chicago's a good team. Again, I'm going to give them a loss. Wow, that's brutal, but this is a tough schedule for the New York Giants. And then they're going to finish off Washington at home. I'm going to say they beat Washington. So, as I already said earlier, Washington, I gave them a loss last week of the season against the Giants. So, I got the Giants finishing 6 wins, 11 losses. Not too good. Again, this is not a great division. We need to see, maybe the Giants will be better than this. But I have to see it to believe it from their quarterback. I just don't like Daniel Jones. Sorry. He's got some physical tools, but, he's just one of those guys. I have to see him take that next step before I really give him credit. So that's where I see the Giants finishing the 2021 season at 6-11, just behind the Washington Redskins. Tune in next game for my Dallas predictions for the 2021 season.